Secret to living young, hormone care. In the age of tech, how young and healthy you live is becoming important. The secret to maintaining your youth lies in hormones. When a person turns, 25, growth stops and aging begins. Hormone management determines whether you will become younger than your age or whether you will age faster. This is because aging is caused by changes in the generation, secretion, and regulation of hormones, resulting in decreased function. Our body has more than 60 trillion cells. Hormones signal cells to do their job. Hormones are mixed with blood and travel throughout the body. Keep the three major hormones in order to live young. The three most important hormones for a young and healthy life are insulin, growth hormone, and melatonin. When insulin is broken down, blood vessel health deteriorates. When food is consumed, it breaks down into sugar in the body. This sugar enters the bloodstream and raises blood sugar. At this time, insulin delivers sugar to the cells needed by the body. If insulin is in trouble, sugar cannot be delivered to the cells, which increases sugar in the blood. As the viscosity of the blood increases, it becomes sticky. When sticky blood clumps together, blood clots form. In addition, when blood vessels are pressurized due to sticky blood, elasticity decreases and the blood vessel walls are naturally damaged. Metabolic syndromes such as diabetes, high blood pressure, hyperlipidemia, and cardiovascular disease occurs as a result. An important function of growth hormones is the regulation of energy metabolism. Lack of growth hormones narrows the limbs and increases the fat in the abdomen and waist. Instead of decreasing muscle mass, body fat increases. Growth hormones are produced by the pituitary gland in the brain and released throughout life. It is produced at its peak during puberty, when it grows a lot and then gradually begins to decline in the 20s. It usually decreases by 14.4% every 10 years. Everyone in their 40s experiences deficiency symptoms for this reason. Melatonin is a hormone secreted by the pineal gland in the brain that regulates the circadian rhythm, plunges into deep sleep, and enhances immunity to prevent diseases. However, sleep decreases with age. As a result, melatonin hormones are secreted less and short sleep prevents deep sleep. As a result, melatonin is not secreted properly. As this vicious cycle continues, it is getting older. Hormonal health requires changing food and habits. First of all, for insulin hormone health, you should avoid foods with a higher sugar index (GI) than calories. Foods with a high sugar index refer to foods that quickly raise blood sugar. Carbohydrates have a high sugar index. Flour foods such as white-colored grain bread and snacks, white rice, sugar, and liquid fructose have a very high sugar index. If the sugar index is high even with the same calories, blood sugar rises rapidly and insulin hormones are excessively secreted. Consistently eating foods with high sugar indices can make the pancreas tired and cause diabetes. Eat a lot of foods with a low sugar index, such as lean meat, legumes, grains, nuts, seaweed, fish, and dairy products, as well as carbohydrates are consumed as unrefined grains. A lot of growth hormones are produced when sleeping and exercising. It is secreted a lot when sleeping deeply at night and when exercising muscles during the day. In particular, the hormone irisin, which is secreted from the muscles of the lower body, reduces insulin resistance by turning bad fat into good fat, which prevents metabolic syndrome. If you don't have time for strength training, you stand on your chair, lift your heels, sit with your arms folded, stand up and sit on the back of your chair. It is also good to stretch in between, such as getting up and sitting in a chair and raising your legs. Walking fast for 30 minutes a day is also helpful. Exercise for at least 2 days and 30 minutes a day. Melatonin hormones are secreted when you sleep well. If you don't sleep well, your melatonin secretion decreases and your growth hormone secretion at night is also hindered. Therefore, you should go to bed at 10 to 11 p.m. To secrete melatonin hormones, 7 to 8 hours of sleep is appropriate on average per day. When stress builds up, Hormones involved in stress are often said to improve if you eat chocolate. This is because cortisol, which is secreted when our body is in a stressful state, abnormally stimulates appetite and requires sweets from our body. When you eat sweets, your brain produces serotonin, which makes you feel better. However, if you look for sweets every time you are stressed, you may suffer from depression, chronic fatigue, and obesity. Serotonin, called the happiness hormone, is a neurotransmitter that drives happy emotions and calms excitement or reduces stress. To assist in the secretion of this hormone, it is recommended to eat foods containing tryptophan, vitamin B, and glucose properly. Dairy products like meat, fish, and milk contain a lot of tryptophan. Eating foods made of high-protein foods such as meat, fish, and tofu can be beneficial when you feel lethargic due to stress. Additionally, vitamin B is abundant in meat and fish, brown rice, soybeans, and oats. Our body consumes vitamins and minerals when stressed. For this reason, it is recommended to eat vegetables and fruits on a daily basis. Tomatoes are helpful because they have less calories and more vitamin B groups than other fruits. It is also good to eat nuts as a snack for magnesium intake to stabilize the nerves. Sometimes people relieve stress by eating spicy food. However, spicy taste is pain, not taste. When pain cells sense the spicy taste, the brain releases endorphins that make you feel better to reduce pain. We hope this will be useful information for our subscribers.